We have a World Cup live trivia coming up at midnight. So get your call ready for that. 03717 223344. But now it's time for this. Time for some back pages. Alan McKinley.
Macca.
Jamie, Jason, how are you, lads? Very impressive knowledge on those American teams, I must say.
Well, I mean, not as much as me.
Better than I thought, you know, Macca. Is your knowledge great?
Well, I used to covered 14 Super Bowls, so I should know a bit about it.
So basically, yes, a lot more than you. I love the NFL. Big fan.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it's great.
Big fan of the NFL.
You're missing out, Jay.
You are missing out, mate.
I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not. No, trust me, I'm not. I haven't got time in my life.
No, I mean, the amount of sport that you watch over here,
Football.
you actually genuinely have it.
Football, I don't know.
Football. Macca, back pages. There's a lot of talk of Gareth Southgate. It's time to teach Yanks a footballing lesson.
Yeah, well, he's happy that Harry Kane's playing, isn't he? And he's saying that not to take them lightly. He said in the past England have been guilty of a bit of arrogance, and that he's drumming it into his players that you can't do that. Obviously, you have to be confident, but there's a line, isn't there, between confidence and arrogance? And he says that in the past, perhaps we've taken them too lightly, because there was that famous one in South Africa, wasn't there, where we played the USA and drew 1-1, and that was a dire performance. But he's obviously hoping to avoid that kind of thing. You can't imagine England taking it lightly, can you? Really?
No, but this is going to see what we're about, though, this game. Do you know what I mean? The USA are going to be up for this. They need a result. They know they're going to need a win. And you can't underestimate this team. They got some good players, and they're going to be high energy. Yeah,
and England have got to match that. I mean, they don't. Iran were not high energy, were they?
No.
In that
no,
first game.
They were no energy.
No,
I say they were shocking.
Yeah, they were poor. I mean, that's the thing. You can't knock scoring 6 goals in your opening game, although obviously Southgate was unhappy with the 2 they conceded. But you don't know how much of it was how poor Iran were, or how much of it how good England was. But scoring 6 is not bad at all, is it?
No, you're right. Southgate won't be dragged into virtual signalling even contest, and there's a few other ones about the armband. Blackmail by FIFA, FA cancel protests over fear of unlimited liability. This is real, and it's not just England, by the way. Germany are embroiled in this. I think Australia. There's other countries that are seriously feel let down by them and are considering some sort of action against FIFA.
Yeah, and I think that will happen after the tournament. I think that Southgate made a point today that that we can't. He said his quote was, "I'm quite comfortable with our position and my own position and what we think we can affect." And he's decided that enough's enough. He's going to concentrate on the football now. I think that's a fairly reasonable position to take. I mean, I'm not quite sure when this happened that suddenly football has become the conscience of the world. And generally the people who want to make them the conscience of the world are only people who are interested in football during the tournament and never mention football or their role in society ever again. I think that they tried and failed for right or wrong reasons to make the point. I think there's been a lot of publicity about it, which that much is true, and it has been discussed at length. And in the end, you've made the point. FIFA have made their ruling. You just have to get on and play the games now. I think there's a limit to how much. As Gareth Southgate said, he won't be. What should we do? Should we start competing with other countries to see who can virtue signal the most? And I think he's got that pretty spot on. I think.
Okay. On the back of the style, you've got Old Trafford, Apple, and Manchester United. There's an interesting one. This Apple taking over Man United.
Yeah. It is interesting. It definitely signals a move away from what we all used to recognise as, or completing the move away from it, because obviously the same things happened with Manchester City, obviously, as in Paris Saint-Germain. It used to be that wealthy clubs, big clubs, had wealthy owners, and it was usually one man driving it. We think of Blackburn and Jack Walker, etc., Doug Ellis at Aston Villa. And it used to be that there was a man who was a figurehead, wasn't there? And he was regarded as responsible for the ownership of the club and everything. And now, football being much more corporate, it's now one of the biggest corporations in the world now wants to buy Manchester United. As we pointed out, they have no experience whatsoever in running a football club, but then it's all about who they appoint and who they would get in to actually run the club, isn't it? But there's no doubt they've got the money. If they want to spend it on buying Manchester United, then they will be able to. The cost of the club is likely to be around about $6 billion, apparently.
A lot of money. All right, Macca. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Macca.
That's a pleasure, boys.
Take it easy.
All right, take care. Those are your back pages. Right, it's time for a World Cup live trivia. We know you love it, so get involved. 03 717 22 33 44.